Okay, so welcome and good morning, everybody. Today's workshop is called Empowerment Through Greek Mythology and Goddess Archetypes, or something like that, right, Dimitra? I might have mixed the words up a little bit. We went back and forth a few times to get the perfect name. And it's a very special morning because I'm going to introduce my good friend and partner in travel, Dimitra Kamarinou. I met her the first time when I went to Greece and went to the Isle of Lesbos. I met her on Amazonas Ecoland, and we just instantly took a liking to each other and realized that we really wanted to do something together. And so we created Sacred Roots. And I'm gonna just say a couple things about you because Dimitra's quite modest, and she won't say it about herself. So I'm gonna say it on her behalf. She's actually an award-winning archaeologist. You can fill in some of the details, Dimitra, but she's, I believe it's by the Acropolis, has an award-winning archaeologist. She's a published author multiple times over. She recently wrote a book on Homeric archaeology and was acknowledged. Maybe you could tell us just a little bit more about this big acknowledgement that she had recently about her book. She is not just an amazing historian, but really, I would say an expert on all things Greek. So mythology, the goddesses, um, architecture, sociology things. So when you're traveling around with Dimitra, you can stop anywhere and ask a random question and she'll just go on about the answer. The design in this building was originated with, I'm like, how do you even know this? But she does somehow. And when we travel together, because she's also a somatic therapist, she's able to kind of recreate the experience of perhaps like what it's like to have lived in this castle village, way back. And, what it was like for women. Our trips are focused on goddess, the feminine aspects, and the goddess archetypes. And, food, culture, language, all of these things. And so her body of knowledge is just vast. And the most wonderful thing on top of it, she's just such a lovely human. And I'm very honored and grateful to be friends with her. And so there's your introduction, Dimitra. So I'm going to spotlight you for a few minutes so that I'm going to spotlight you. So here we go. Here is Dimitra. And whenever I say her last name, I'm going to laugh. For those of you that have perused around the website, we have a video that we took sitting on the water in Greece, and I'm introducing her, and I said her name incorrectly over and over again, and she so sweetly corrected me, and we decided to leave it in the video because we just think it's hilarious. So that's why I laugh. So here is Dimitra. And thank you so much for being here, and let's do this.
Jody, thank you very much for being my friend. We have organized an amazing retreat together last year. I also thank the friends that came from the Resos Festival here today and all the new women. We will share these 2 hours together.
Yes. Excuse me, sorry, I got to mute myself.
Yeah. So my background is in archaeology, and when things got difficult in my life, I studied somatic psychotherapy because I had back pain. And then I also got into yoga training and Feldenkrais and different practices. And now I combine all this knowledge and I take people to the ancient Greek sites, the temples of the goddesses and of the Greek gods. And I do what I call experiential initiation. So it's not like a guided tour. This temple was built that century and destroyed that century. we try to convey the energy and the spirit of the goddess and of the place. And last year, it was an amazing retreat and really life-changing. So we decided this January to organize this workshop on the Greek goddesses' archetypes. Now, I have prepared a PowerPoint presentation. I would like to introduce you into Athena's archetype first, and the work we are going to do is embodied. And there is a reason for that. Jody, would you please show the presentation?
Yes, I'm trying to help someone get into the meeting right now, so yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
I'm sorry, guys, I'm trying to do two things at once.
So there are two words on the title of this workshop. One word is the Greek goddesses, and the other one is archetypes. Are we born with archetypes? Yes, we are born with archetypes. You all know Carl Jung, who said that we all share the same archetypes as human beings. We are born with archetypes and we inherit them to our children. So getting to know the archetypes facilitates our self-awareness and also our connection to others. So let's start with the first slide, where I try to explain what the archetypes are and their meaning for our lives. So Jung found that in mythology, in the dreams, there are patterns, figures that are repeated, and he called them archetypes. And every human being on this planet shares these images. So on the other hand, the Greek goddesses are not alive anymore. I mean, this religion is dead like 2000 years ago when Christianity began. Still, these goddesses are still alive in our universal consciousness. Why? There must be a reason for that. So we all know Athena is the goddess of wisdom, Demeter, the goddess of the earth, Artemis, the goddess of our wild nature, Aphrodite, the goddess of love, Estia, the goddess of the house of nesting, and Hera, the goddess, the mother goddess. So there must be something in these goddesses very significant for our lives. And I also now know that during your childhood, in your mythology, you have also got information about these goddesses, and you know a lot about them in the Greek mythology. So for some reason, they may resonate with our subconscious. Let's see now the following slide, which is about the structure of this workshop. So in this workshop, in the beginning, I will tell you some things about the mythology of Athena and the archetypical qualities of Athena, the feminine archetypical qualities. I will present Athena sanctuaries in Greece briefly, you know, Parthenon, because it also embodies the archetypical qualities of Athena. And then we will immerse ourselves into Athena archetypes in group work and Athena's shadow as well. And during this whole work, we will do embodiment practices like Greek alphabet yoga, Athena statues poses, Athena's mantra, Athena's dances, because I believe that our bodies have been sculptured by our experiences, conscious or unconscious experiences. And doing embodied work facilitates us to go deeper than working with our mind and conscious mind and thinking. And as a Greek poet awarded by the Nobel Prize says, Jody, can you please show the next slide? His name is Odysseus Elitis, and he comes from the island of Lesbos. And he says that the naked body is the unique extension of the invisible line that connects us to the mystery. The mystery is the beyond, and the mystery is the inside us, our deeper self, our unconsciousness. That's why we will work today with the archetypes and the Greek goddesses archetypes. So starting with Athena, let's see on the next slide how Athena was born, because this is important. So Zeus, Jupiter, the father of the gods, he was married to a woman, and he thought that he would give birth to a child that would surpass him in wisdom and power. So one day told her, can you transform yourself into a glass of water? Yeah, they were playing, so she did that. And then he swallowed her. And after some time, he gave birth of Athena from his forehead. So Athena got the wisdom from his head and became the goddess of wisdom. On the next slide, I will show you what Plato in his work Cratylus says about the name of Athena. So here first I write the name with the English characters, Athena. Under it is Athena, the Greek name. And if I cut it in three species, it comes from A, which is the article, Thea, Deus, means goddess, and Noa, Nous, means intellectuality. So her name means the goddess of wisdom. Now, before going further and explain what wisdom meant for the ancient Greeks, I would like you to touch with your 2 or 3 fingers your forehead here at the middle, maybe where the third eye is, between the eyebrows, or a little bit higher, where the roots of your hair is. And then slowly make more circles. Please close your eyes. We will try to get centered, to sense the center of our wisdom. Just pull softly the skin and make small circles. And please breathe. Take 4 deep breaths here. Connect with your inner wisdom. 4 deep breaths at your pace. Relax your shoulders. Relax your neck. Relax your arms. Relax your legs. Relax your eyes, your cheeks, your chin, and just breathe. And try to connect with your inner wisdom. Now please open your eyes. And if you would like, can you write on the chat room, on the chat, what is wisdom for you? I will give you some time to think and write your text. And during this time, I will play on the hangpan drum the note that resonates with Athena's energy, because there is a connection between the Indian chakras and the Greek goddesses' energies. So please take your time and write what is wisdom for you while I play the handbell drum, the sounds of Athena. So, Jody, will you help me and read the texts?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
absolutely. Sure, sure. Sorry, I'm multitasking here, of course. Let's see. It is a knowing, not my brain smarts or what I've learned academically, but a wisdom that guides me intuitively and connects me to heart compassion and the way forward. The inner will to move. Connection, surrender, trust. Inner knowing, embodied, felt knowing. Wisdom is knowledge from within. Wisdom is the connection with your inner universe knowledge and understanding the best application of that knowledge. Separating the wheat from the chaff of internal thoughts and external input. Listening, seeing, connection with others, using the wise mind. Lessons learned. Guidance, roadmap. Listening to the voice that guides me in discernment of what is the right at the moment, or tells me that to be quiet and listen to learn. A quiet strength from my deep being center. A perception of how to best apply one's knowledge to the nuance of the moment so as to facilitate efficacy in any given communication or pursuit. Insight through learning and experience. Understanding oneself and what drives me. Wisdom is, I know that I know nothing. Summarizes it right there. Connecting to the larger wisdom of the universe, knowing myself and others, where I and others are coming from based on thoughts and beliefs, knowledge and lived experience, becoming a balanced and all-encompassing discernment. Wow. That's good.
So, in fact, we have everything from what Socrates said, that one thing I know nothing, till the whole spectrum, till getting into the knowledge of what connects us to the universe and inside us. But let's see what was wisdom for the ancient Greeks. I have presented the idea of wisdom for the ancient Greeks. In the next slide, Jody, will you please? So you know the word philosophy. So the second compound of the word philosophy is the word Sophia. In Greek, philosophy, Sophia means wisdom. Wisdom was also intuition, was also inspiration, and it was also rational and strategic thinking. So all these were the qualities of wisdom that Athena presented. But wisdom was also connected with logos. You know the word logos from the word logic. Logos in Greek means speech, talking. At the same time, it means logic. So the breakthrough that the ancient Greeks did was that they would doubt to any ideas, beliefs existed before them. They would doubt and they would try to develop a rational thinking so that they can, from the beginning, analyze and maybe also invent concepts and ideas and beliefs. So in English, you have the ending logy in many disciplines, geology, biology. So the Greeks with logos, which is talking, speech, and logic together, they did put the fundamentals of many disciplines. And also the word monologue is logos, mono. Mono means by one person, while dialogue is logos, between two persons. So these are also Greek words that you use. And in fact, dialogue, logical talking, was the base of the whole civilization, of the whole Greek culture, as I will show in the next slide, because philosophy for the ancient Greeks was not a discipline of the philosophers that they were sitting on their desks, isolated in their houses, a little bit depressed maybe, and writing their text and their ideas. It was something totally different. Socrates would walk in the agora, in the market, and he would talk to anyone, to the slaves, to the other citizens, to anyone, and he wouldn't just preach, he would engage himself in a dialogue with them, and they would challenge beliefs and ideas they had about concepts, about universal worries. And philosophy, the aim of philosophy was the therapy of the soul. This is what most of philosophers say. So this dialogue was developed in philosophy and in the theater also. It is very interesting what the ancient Greek theatrical plays are. What is their content? Well, usually there is the hero, the protagonist, and he engages him. He has to take a decision, or she has to take a decision. And they engage themselves in a dialogue, a very powerful dialogue with the other persons, the other actors that fight or are against his ideas, her ideas, their ideas. And after the protagonist encounters all these other persons, the king, the father, the mother, the husband, the brother, the sister, then he stays alone on the stage and she begin their inner dialogue. And that's the most difficult part in any Greek tragedy, the inner dialogue. And in the end, reaches a decision. So theater is also about dialogue. Poetry is also about the dialogue with oneself, that they also want to communicate to others. And here I want to underline that Sappho was the first poet in the whole world that wrote about feelings like despair, like love, and of course love for women. Till the time of Sappho, poetry was about masculine deeds and epic work. And of course, this dialogue was the fundamental of democracy. So now we see how Athena was connected through this, her wisdom with democracy also. Okay, on the next slide, I show an ancient Greek amphitheater. Every 50 kilometers in Greece, there is, so one quality with which we work today is wisdom, and the other quality of Athena is protection. Athena, on the next slide, you will see how Athena protected the main heroes like Hercules and like Odysseus. She guided him, protected him, and consoled him throughout his journey home after the Trojan War. Also, As you know, Athena was armed. She would, on the next slide, you will see she was always holding a helmet, a spear, and she was more powerful than the god of war, Ares. So Athena was not a goddess of war. She would fight to protect herself and to protect others. So this is the feminine quality of a fighter, while Mars, Ares, has the masculine quality. And here on the left painting, you see that Athena had a victory over Ares during the Trojan War. And on the next, on the one on the right, you will see her protecting peace. So I would like to focus a little bit on the next slide on the idea of protection. In English, protection is a word that is a compound word. Pro means in front of. Tect comes, it's a Greek word, it comes like architect means build. So protection means like building something in front of me. The same meaning has the word prostasia in Greek. We also have another word, security and safety. This word in Greek is asphalia. The word sphalia, sphalo, is mistake, fault, is fault. So asphalia, security, safety in Greek, is not making a fault. So the word fault exists inside asphalia, but it's not detrimental. You can change it, you can learn from it, you can grow from it. So asphalia has an inner meaning. It's learning from my mistakes, because we always make mistakes in our lives, and we learn from them and we grow for them. So let's keep this idea of asphalia in our mind. And I would invite you, Jody, if you want to facilitate us in groups to talk about your asphalia, your safety, your security. What are the signals? And I would like to focus on body signals, somatic signals that you had in your life, and it was like a compass for you, and you had to change direction, you had to take another decision. So what somatic signals that represent your body's wisdom have guided you in your life? So I would invite you in groups of 3 to discuss this topic, this experience you may have. We can give like 2 minutes for every person, so 7 minutes in total. And so it is just discussing in groups what somatic
signals are you saying? You're saying signals.
Signals.
Okay. So somatic signals. So what do you experience in your body?
That was like a compass for you. It was like your wisdom, and you took decisions, you made changes in your life due to these somatic signals.
Okay, so I'm going to make an attempt to rephrase this. So how do you perceive when you have an intuition or a message or a moment of wisdom? How do you perceive that you need to make a change? Like, what is your way to perceive that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and just explain if you have some experiences on that somatic, these somatic bells have guided you, because this is a way that our wisdom expresses itself.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the breakout room? What we're going to talk about in the breakout room. So you want groups of 3, correct?
Yeah.
And how
we will have 7 minutes.
7 minutes, okay.
7 minutes. So it's like 2 minutes for each person.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're going to go into breakout rooms. Here we go. And introduce yourselves, and then we'll have a discussion. Okay, a couple people are dropping. So hold on, I'm going to change, let me change the amount of breakout rooms. Okay. Okay, awesome. Just easygoing, casual discussion. Here we go.
Like, you know, the word from English is the Greek word. It means the victory. So she has the victory in her head. So now, yeah.
On her right hand, this statue
Yes,
here?
exactly, this one.
Oh,
And it also has feathers, wings. The victory has wings.
okay, there.
And so from all these archetypical energies that are inside us, all of us, I would like to invite you on the next slide. There is the question, I think. Can we see the next slide?
I'm working on it. There.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the question now is, what's alive in you regarding Athena's archetypical qualities? What is alive in you right now, right now, regarding wisdom, regarding your inner safety and protection, and social justice? As I said, Athena protected many heroes, and we lesbians need need more social justice. And creativity, she's also the goddess of creativity, of weaving. So my question is, what's alive in you regarding Athena's archetypical qualities now, right now? And we can work again in groups for 7 minutes. Jody, please.
how wonderful to have a chance to get to talk to people in smaller groups and get to know each other. I just love it so much. Dimitra, what's next?
So I would like to invite you now to embodied work, because when we are talking about archetypes, it's not enough just to talk about them. We're talking about a deeper level of ourselves. So first we will do what I call Greek alphabet yoga. So we will write with our bodies the name Athena in Greek, of the goddess Athena in Greek. You know, the Chinese temples have the architecture of the Chinese letters. The Arabic writing has these curvatures of Arabic, the Arabic calligraphy, and also of their architecture. And the Greek alphabet has the lines of Parthenon, of the Greek architecture. Linear, geometric, simple, and standing. All Greek letters are standing. We took the letters from Phoenicians, but the Greeks transformed them and they made them in the lines, they gave them the lines of their architecture. So now I invite you first to stand up and we will write the letters of Athena.
Oh, sorry.
Well, the Greeks did not choose by chance the names of their gods. There is a meaning, and they can all Greek letters can be represented by the human body. So the sound and also the shape, the form of the word is important. So I will step back and I will describe what I'm doing. First, we are going to write Athena. Athena is the letter A for you, alpha for us. So it is written like that. You know, this is the letter A. We just open our legs a little bit, and then we raise our hands and we connect our fingers like that. above our head. So now I invite you to close your eyes, relax your shoulders, relax your legs. Feel how grounded you are. The earth holds you, and at the same time, there is an invisible line that connects you with the beyond. Relax your shoulders, relax your forehead, relax your eyes, relax your chin, and take 4 deep breaths at your pace. And inhale the energy of Alpha. And one last breath. So here we have the connection with the ground and also with the connection with the beyond at the same time. Inhale and change the pose to the letter theta. The letter theta in Greek is written like an O with a line in the middle. So in this middle line, please place your right palm on the solar plexus here, on the diaphragm, and the left one over your head like this. This is letter theta. So here you control your fear, here is your power, and you also connect with your higher wisdom at the same time. So please close your eyes, relax your body again here, delve into the pose, the theta pose. In Greek, the word therapy, theater, and God, theos, begin with the letter theta. So this letter theta is very important. And this is the pose of theta. 4 deep breaths here. And one last breath. Inhale, and now we change the pose. The next letter is H for you, Eta for us. So I have my legs, hips open, and I raise my hands, my arms high up. This is centering. Close your eyes. Find your stability here. Find your center in your body. And see how well grounded you are and how uplifting this pose is. Relax the shoulders, relax the forehead. You can move your body back and forth a little bit, find your balance. Relax. Take 4 deep breaths at your pace. This is also a pose of connecting the differences, our different parts. In the Indian culture, in the Asian culture, we would say the yin and yang. It's connecting our different parts and getting centered. One last breath. And then I place my right hand on my palm and my left like a mirror, and I look at my left palm. I bend my left elbow here, and I look at my left palm. This is the letter N. This is a nasal consonant. In English, we say inhale. Ein Atmen in German, inhalar in Spanish. This N is the consonant of breathing in the life. And the last letter of Athena, is again the letter alpha, A for you. And in this case, I will embrace myself by putting my left palm on my right hip and holding with my right palm, my right shoulder. So hug yourself. Athena is very self-sufficient. She has inner security, safety. She can fight and protect herself. She can fight for social justice. She can protect others as well. She's creative. She has a strategic mind. 4 deep breaths here. Embrace the energy of Athena. She has eyes that can see in the darkness of the unconsciousness, in the darkness of the beyond. And one last breath. And now we will get into the pose of the statue Athena as a warrior. So I put my right leg in front of me, my palms on my hips. I look on this side, and then I expand wide both my hands. I bend my left elbow, and here on my fist, I hold the spear. This is warrior 2 in yoga, similar to warrior 2. So this is Athena's statue pose. Chest wide open, expanding myself, protecting myself, and fighting for my goals and for my principles. Please close your eyes. Take 4 deep breaths here. Open up your chest. You are protected. Your heart is protected by your wisdom. One last breath. And release, and we go to the other side. My left leg is in front of me. I put my palms on my hips. I extend my arms. I bend my right arm and I hold the spear behind my head. 4 deep breaths here. I look far over my left fingers at my goal. And here there is a Greek mantra. The Greek mantra is dynamai. You have the word dynamite, dynamic. Dynamai is passive voice in Greek. That means the energy, the power, the strength comes from inside me and returns to me. It's not active voice like I can, the energy goes from me somewhere out there. So dynamai. So let's say all together, dynamai. 4 times.
Dynamite.
Dynamai.
Dynamite.
Dynamai. Jody, you can unmute everyone.
They have to unmute themselves.
Okay. You can unmute yourselves and say dynamai.
Dynamite.
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 Dynamai.
Dynamite.
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 Dynamai.
Dynamite.
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 Dynamai.
Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Dynamai.
Dynamite.
Okay. And now I will invite you to a dance. So, Jody, we have the alchemy song. It's like 2 minutes. And I invite you just to move your body with free expression, with the music. And in the end, find your wisdom pose. If you were to sculpture a statue that would represent your wisdom pose, what would that be? So dance around your room and try to figure out what would be your best Athena's wisdom pose. And we will present them at the end of the song. Feel free to express yourself as freely as you feel.
Is the volume okay?
And get into Athena's energy. Athena's wisdom energy. And now we will play the song again. Oh, let's see first the poses. Can we see some poses? Your Athena wisdom pose.
No. Δεν θες, Δήμητρα, να δεις στάσεις.
Perfect. And now choose a spot in your room which will be your protective wisdom, protection and wisdom. And dance around, we will dance with the same song for 2 minutes and dance around your room and then get into this spot, the one you have chosen in your room, and see how you feel there. And then dance a little bit farther and closer and get there again. So Jody will play, please, again, this 2 minutes song. Choose a spot that is your protection, symbolizes your protection. in the room, your safety, your inner safety. Dance and move there. So what could be your protective pose? What could be the pose of your inner protection? Could we show it? Can we show it? Can you get into this pose? Okay. And now let's get into the shadow of Athena. So the shadow can be, because there is a lot of rational thinking, can be rigidity, can be difficulty to get out of my boxes, can be inflexibility. And it can also be intellectual arrogance, can also be effort to manipulate others. And because Athena is the goddess of justice, the shadow would be also guilt. So how much time do I have, Jody?
I think you should just do your thing. And we were going to take some time to talk about the trip. We'll take whatever's time is left, and then I'll be doing
Okay.
another event about
Okay,
that.
can we do another spirit in groups and discuss about the issue of guilt?
Yes.
So we have our principles, and sometimes we have this issue of guilt, which is the shadow
Yes.
of Athena.
So what
So-
specifically would you like us to discuss?
Just your experience. So guilt is a tricky feeling. Guilt is usually about something that has happened in the past, and sometimes we can do something for it if the other person, we are still in contact with the other person, or they want to be in contact with us, and we can have a better communication. And sometimes we cannot do anything about that because the doors are closed or for some other reason. So, but still being guilty is not a very useful feeling. What is useful is what we can learn for our self-growth from that. And this is the important thing. So regarding Athena, Jody, can we quickly have a look at the PowerPoint presentation, and then we will close with the last dance?
I'm not sure where we are.
Yeah, here we are. This is the shadow here regarding Athena. No, these are the good qualities. Oh, okay. I have written here how useful would be the archetype of Athena precisely for the lesbian community. So it is empowerment through wisdom. It is navigating relationship dynamics through, of course, communication, effective communication, conflict resolution. Advocacy for justice, of course, and leadership in LGBTQ plus community, and also supporting others with compassion, as Athena did. And this archetype is also important for personal growth. And on the next slide, you will see the statue of Athena on the next slide, and the pose we just had, this dynamai pose. And you also see how she's protected, her body is protected by the aegis, this covered coat. And then, can we go on? On the next slide, on the next slide. So this is the creativity, because she was the goddess of weaving. And the next one. Okay, my question was Athena a lesbian? Because she never fell in love with a man. And Hephaestus, the god of craftsmanship, once tried to seduce Athena, but she resisted. And he ejaculated on her leg, and disgusted, Athena whipped off the semen with a piece of wool. But we have another story that she was swimming in the water of a river once with a nymph, and her son saw her, and Athena thought, I would kill him. But the mother that Athena loved begged her, and from that time on, he could not see, he became blind. And this was Tiresias, who could foresee the future. So we have a story, this swimming with another woman maybe indicates something, but she was not attracted to men. And the next slide is about Athena's shadow, which is intellectual arrogance, rigidity in relationship expectations, emotional detachment, also in conflict because it's too rational, authoritarian approach, manipulative strategizing, and overemphasis on independence. And the next one. Yeah, and the next one. Okay, this is something to consider, what's alive in you regarding Athena's shadow, and what qualities of Athena would you like more in your life. But in fact, when we are working with archetypes, we work not in a very rational level, but we work in a deeper level. So even if you don't have the answers right now, I think this workshop will have an impact on you anyway. So this is Athena and Orestes. Orestes had killed his mother, and he was chased by the goddesses of guilt. But in the end, there was a jury, and Athena released him from his guilt. So now I would like to invite you in a dancing act. Just spot three spots in your room. One will be it will be the I spot, I, you, your name, your person. The other one will be the archetype of Athena, Athena's wisdom and protection, and the other one, and social justice, and the other one will be guilt. So while you are dancing, please go in these three places. It will be like a 7-minute dance, and go in these three places and find your wisdom, fire your inner protection, find the social justice, find your shadow, find your guilt, and encounter all these qualities and deal with them during your dance.
So you're saying guilt, not guild, right? Guilt? Guilt.
Yeah, yeah,
one-
like being guilty.
Okay, so one location is us, the second is guilt, and the third is the Athena archetype, yes?
Archetype, yeah. So feel free, this is our epilogue. Feel free to embody all these qualities and to deal with the difficult ones.
I'd like to say before we start this, in case anyone has to leave, thank you, Liz, for being here and letting me know. We probably, if anybody wants to stay on when we're complete, we can talk a little bit about the trip and the details of the trip, or I can answer questions about our trips. And we will be posting other actual events that will just be about the trips. So let's take the time to just finish up with Dimitra as opposed to taking this time to talk about the trips, and then you could stay on if you want to know more about that. Okay, so
Yeah,
I want to cut into your time by talking about the trips.
Yeah, with Jody, we organize the Women's Sacred Roots trips, and we go to the temples of the goddesses, and we try to convey the energy of the archetypical energy of the places there.